Can I put you guys on live? Do you mind?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so this is July the 20th, Kimberly and I. This is just recording. We'll post it later. So I'm talking about how to affect change. And as I was just talking to these wonderful ladies here, change always, 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 always starts at the bottom. Always starts at the bottom. And it starts with a conversation, it starts with a problem, it starts with somebody disgruntled, it starts with somebody who was wrong, and that voice has to just, there has to be a critical mass of rumbling, and so where it just is kind of out there, it's kind of heard. So we have that, we have it. The next thing is people who are in the middle, right? The middle players. They're not the ones who make the law. They're not the ones who control the dollars, but they're the ones who are in the middle who are active in what's going on. And they kind of like feel like disquieting, kind of this discomfort with the way things are, but like they want to rock the boat, right? And so they're kind of like, well, I mean, maybe, just, maybe. And those are the people that are here, right? Those are the people who are here, who are judges, professors, who recognize that this isn't quite right, but they don't write the laws, they don't control the purse strings, right? They can't implement changes because they're in the bureaucracy, right? They're in a bureaucracy, but they're like, maybe this could be better, right? So we now have that, and that's why we're here, so we can connect with these people. Because when we, as lower little mice who are on the bottom, when we go and we try to talk to the people at the frickin' top of the food chain, the legislators, the governors, the budgets, they always say, so anybody else doing this? Yeah. Or they say, well, how do you think we pay for that? Or they say, what's the cost value analysis of that? Or they say, have you talked to the agency, or is the bar association behind it? Blah, 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 blah. So we need this layer, this middle layer. We need these who are churning, so we can say, and that's part of what I wanted to do here today, that's part of my purpose, is so that I could shake hands, get some names. When I hear them talk the right talk, even though they ain't quite got it in place, right? Because, Vivek Sakaran, who's great, who understands it, he can't quite get it outside of his college classroom, I mean, he's doing a court program for law students and stuff, but he can't. He's been working on this almost as long as I have, and he can't quite get it over the hump, right? And so we need to, it's pulling those things together. So that's why I asked him. I was like, look, I finally have the ear of legislators, and here's the 3 things I want to work on, and I want you to be on board with me. And he's like, okay. No, but he's like, okay. Because it's pushing, we're pushing them out of their comfort level. Right. So, Kimberly and I were also talking to this Indiana judge, and they've got a task force, and it takes them a cajillion years to get a task force and a subcommittee and a plan and a preliminary plan and before they can even publish it, right? It's just the way it works. I appreciate that she's even doing it, but it takes such a slow mover. And so, but now once we have one place that has that plan,
exactly.
Once we have one place, then us down here, as little rats and cockroaches here on the bottom, just like going all over the place, we can say, look, here's the Indiana plan.
Yeah, correct.
And we can carry that Indiana plan to Missouri and Tennessee and Arkansas and Virginia, and we can say, look, they're doing it here, or they're ready to go here. We have so-and-so recognizes that this is what needs to be done. So that's what, that's why we've got to keep stories out there. That's really an awesome thing to do. We've got to keep telling your stories, because people don't know it's real. They don't know that a grandmother like Laura was taking care of her grandchildren, would have her grandchildren just like stripped away while they're at daycare, okay? But at daycare, just have them snatched up because they're mad at her, right? So those stories have got to get out there. And if you're posting your story on Family Forward Project, I want you to know I'm reading it. And I usually try to post something like thank you for sharing or something. It may not be much. It may not be as much of a comment as you want. But I'm reading these. You're doing actually an awesome job telling those. And please keep that up because the stories need to be real. You know, and I often say, just remember, it was one upset mother who started Mothers Against Drunk Driving and changed DUI laws across the entire United States. Okay, so we can do the same thing. It was a mad mom. Okay, so we can do it. We can do it. And this is a very important thing that we did here today. Kimberly's got some great contacts. I made a few great contacts, just walked up, shook their hands. I'm dressed all goofy today. I have on like these really wild shoes.
She always looks good.
I have these great shoes on. I gotta show you my shoes.
They're really cute.
I have these great
I can't
shoes.
even bend like that now, so I'm just stop showing off, please.
So I have those. I'm always dressed like something really bright. I forgot all my makeup.
Connie's in the lead. You're constant. That's why she.
I'm gonna get a bumper sticker that says "Keeping Up with Connie."
Yeah, I kept up with Connie.
Yes. We're gonna get you a T-shirt that says Flash on the back of it. There you go.
No, what it Turbo? That's what Jennifer Wynn called me, Turbo, because I smashed my face on the sidewalk. All right, so I just wanted you to know that should be positive, positive, positive. I'm going to say something to advocates. We need advocates. We need people to learn advocacy. I have an advocacy program outlined as 16 modules. I have not published it yet because I want an advocacy program legislated by the state of Tennessee, and I don't want to put the program out there until we at least have that legislation down. Just because, not because I don't want to share it, but because I know how I get dissed. And somebody from the Department of Children's Services will go like, well, that's no good. That's no good. She's stupid. She can't do that. I mean, we already teach them that. That's what they do, okay? So I'm not really publishing it until I get that resolved. And, and my word is if you have survived child welfare and you have your children, God bless you. I'm happy for you, but you owe it to the rest of the families out there
for everybody.
To keep fighting, to stand up, to tell, to provide strength, encouragement. And some of you know who I'm talking about, okay, because I've helped some of you all out there. So, you need to get your tinnies on and start helping and get ready to call. And if you're a family that's been so stricken and so hurt that you've lost everything as part of this, just the next step is to continue to fight that this ends, okay? The only reason I fight is because I have 4 grandkids, okay? I know that they're going to have a life as adults and parents at one point, and if we don't change this, and it's also the basis of our nation. The strength of our nation is in families, and it has to do with homelessness. It has to do with jobs. It has to do with addiction. It covers so many areas. But we've got to focus on what strengthens, makes stronger, better families in the United States of America.
We will put an end to it when we have forced an end to it.
Yeah.
So keep fighting. Keep
What
fighting.
about you?
It's important to contact your legislators, let them know what has happened to you personally, and try to host a rally. If you need help with that, you can reach out to me, Kimberly Lowe. We've tried doing nationwide rallies, and you may be disappointed if just 2 people show up, but you'd be amazed how many friends you find on Facebook from doing a rally and how much awareness it actually brings. It actually makes a really huge wave. So just keep doing it, and we have to raise the awareness in order to change the policy. So that's why you need to continue to be loud.
Well, and listen, this is so important. I don't care where you are in the United States, there's some organization out there that you can become a member of, okay? Whether it is a PTO, parent-teacher organization, whether it is a party, your Republican or your Democrat party, whether it is, and within each party, there's all kinds of divisions. There's county parties, there's state parties, there's women's parties. I mean, there's so many opportunities for you to continue to say, this is a conversation we want to bring into the discussion, or into our day-to-day discussion. And that's one thing that I do. That's one reason that I just keep sort of regenerating myself and keep, exponentially growing is because I have developed strong relationships in certain organizations that I say to them, I want to help. And if you join a party and you say, look, I just want to help be a greeter at your next meeting, right? And you get to say hello to people that don't know your story, that ultimately you'll get to tell it. So you've got to get involved outside your front door. COVID's over. So I know here in Missouri, they put a sign up in the hotel said, if you haven't been vaccinated, we need to wear a mask. We're like, well, who knows? Who knows? We ain't telling. It's a HIPAA violation. All right, so that's the short story for today. This was a video I put together with Kim. We just finished a live. I will post this up as well, probably put it on YouTube, then share it out. So, and I know Laura's living it, so she'll share it as well. Okay, and Amy is too.
And,
Parents Assisting Parents Network.
It was
great.
completely worth it to come to St. Louis. I've been traveling for about 2 weeks now. I've been all over the place, meeting with legislators, meeting up with those really high up people so they understand what is happening and what policies need to change. And I'm so thankful to Connie for having this wild hair.
Forcing her to come. Forcing her to come.
There's a trickle down because she got me to show up.
I know. Jump
Forcing
in the car
her Sunday
and drive to Missouri.
We need to go. We need to go. We need to go.
We're
We
here,
need to go.
and it's been amazing. And I personally got so emotional because there are judges who understand the problems and they want to be part of the change. So those are the people that we need to work with, and I'm just so excited about that because I didn't know what would happen here. I didn't know if we were going to come and hold banners and get arrested,
Right.
I didn't know what exactly we were going to do. But you know what they did? The organization opened up their arms to us.
Yes.
We are now members,
Yep.
and I hope the next time that we come that I can give a presentation from the perspective of a pro se litigator who has been through the system and to talk about statistics and what can
Right.
they do differently to make it less traumatic for our families and
Or
these
a
are the
table.
policy changes.
Or a table. And I know we've got some men here from Men's Rights, Father's Rights, Equal Shared Parenting, etc. A table, you can get a table at these events for around $800, I think is what they told me. And so that's another thing that we need to take a look at. Marissa Hamilton out of Arizona and I are looking at maybe doing that for the ALEC convention in December. So, sometimes you can get a table and that's where you can just have a handout and shake their hands and just say, parents want to be heard, families want to be heard. So please think about doing that as well.
So we made great connections. Now we have judges to work with us who are already working on some policy initiatives. And even though they don't have maybe the connections with the policymakers, that's where we can bring that gap together with the families, the judges, and the policymakers. So
Very good. All right, very good. Y'all have a good summer. We'll continue working for you. Thanks. Bye-bye.